Hey everybody, my name is Daniel Fennell. Thank you for watching this video. So today, what I did was I read out of the book of Nehemiah. Nehemiah chapter 1 through 3. It centers around a gentleman who lives in Babylon. There is a king, his name's Artaxerxes. We're just going to name him the king because I have a hard time saying his name. Now, the king of Babylon, he likes Nehemiah. He likes him a lot. So much that Nehemiah, his job was to be the cupbearer for the king. So one day when Nehemiah, he was hanging out and he heard a report from someone who said that the walls of Jerusalem, they were in ruins. And so he went and he wept and he prayed and he fasted, is what the Bible says. He also had to continue with his job. So one day he's doing his job. He's the cupbearer and he's in the presence of the king. And the king notices that he's kind of out of it. It's kind of sad. So he says, Nehemiah, what's the problem? So Nehemiah, he's like, well, the walls to Jerusalem, they're in ruins. And that's where my ancestors were buried. When I found out that the walls were in ruins, it just made me very sad. So the king, favoring Nehemiah, he gave him an option. He says, what is it that you are requesting of me? What would you like? And so Nehemiah said, well, if it pleases the king, I would like to go back to Jerusalem and rebuild the walls. And the king said, okay, well, how long will it take? And Nehemiah gave him a time frame, and the king agreed. And then Nehemiah, he said, hey, since I'm going, do you mind writing me a letter so that I can have a rite of passage, so I don't have any trouble getting back. No guards stop me. So the king, he went a little further. He gave him some wood and some beams and some supplies so that he could take back to Jerusalem to rebuild the walls. And also he gave him a horseman. He gave him some knights to protect him on the way back to Jerusalem. So he gave him a letter. And Nehemiah, he's on his way. He goes back to Jerusalem. He shows up. He has all of his supplies with him, but he doesn't tell anybody why he's there. So he goes at nighttime and he goes to assess the walls. He goes to assess what needs to be rebuilt. He comes to the Jews, the priests, the nobles, and the officials. He comes to them and says, hey, I have a decree from the king stating that we have permission to rebuild this wall. And not only that, but I have supplies from the king so that we can get this done. Now, Nehemiah, at this point, he had assessed how much work had needed to be done. And he went to many people, many Jews that lived in that area at the time, saying, hey, this is what it's going to take to get the walls rebuilt. Now, this is chapter 1 and chapter 2. Now, chapter 3 is a little different because it goes in a chronological order of if a particular family had built a particular portion of the wall, that's what it records. All throughout the rebuilding of the wall, it names the particular family that rebuilt the particular portion. And that's Nehemiah 1 through 3. Now here's what's amazing to me. What's amazing is the last chapter that takes an account, that takes the time to name who the families were and what portion of the wall was rebuilt. It's almost like I can go back and I can re-piece together the story, and I know exactly if there was a goat gate or a dung gate or whatever gate, I could find out what family rebuilt that portion of the wall. And that's what's exciting about the Bible, is because it's filled with all these details that if we really sat down and we looked at the details, we could piece together a much deeper story. And it's amazing. Anyways, so that was my daily Bible reading. This is my video blog, and this is the first entry of this video blog. I will see you tomorrow when I do another video blog because I want to do this daily, and hopefully I can get this done super duper fast. Okay, Daniel Fennell signing out. Have a nice day.